Hey guys, Madman back here with another Destiny 2 video. And today we're going to be going over This Week at Bungie from last Thursday. Sorry this took me a couple extra days to do, but I had the script wrote out Friday, but then I got sick and then had some stuff come up yesterday that I had to handle. So I didn't get the chance to put this together till today, but we are going to go over all things major from this past week at Bungie. Now, the big thing here is that they gave us a lot of information on season 21, which is being called Season of the Deep. We're going to kind of go over what the major points were from this post. Let's get started. One of the things that they talked about was the new aspects that are coming for Strand. Now, the three light classes have quite a few of the aspects. Even Stasis has quite a few aspects, but right now, Strand doesn't have a ton of aspects. So this season, they are rolling out three new ones, one for each class. Let's take a look at those here. The Hunter aspect, which is the Threaded Spectre. Activate your class ability to leave behind a decoy woven from strand matter that draws the attention of nearby combatants. After taking significant damage or when combatants approach, the decoy detonates, dealing damage and releasing threadlings to seek out and attack nearby foes. This is actually a really cool aspect. I really like this. Kind of hope we can add that to other classes. I don't think we'll be able to. But this is a cool concept. I like this idea. I like the way that this works. The second one is the Titan aspect, which is the Flechette Storm. While sliding, activate your charged melee ability to leap into the air, knocking nearby targets away and dealing damage when airborne. Activate your charged melee again to launch a cluster of damaging... Wait, I read that wrong. Jesus Christ. A cluster of damaging, unraveling projectiles. Repeatedly activating melee will chain additional throws. So, Titans like to punch things. This builds on the punchy aspect. I still have not gotten really experienced with my Titan. I just made him a couple weeks ago. So I'm pretty stoked to see how this build works with the Titan. Last, we have the Warlock aspect, the Wanderer. Tangles you throw attached to enemies and detonate them into a suspending burst. Threadling final blows create a tangle. Now, if some of you have seen my streams, then you know I am big on the threadling builds and the tangle builds. So that one, as a Warlock main, I'm pretty stoked about. I think that's a pretty cool add-on. I think that's a cool concept. I like that these things are being put in there, and I hope to see them experience more with the different aspects and the different styles of play that each class brings to the table. So the aspects were kind of their big starting point for this week's blog post. One of the other major mentions was that the power levels will not be changing from 1810, and the pinnacle cap for next season will not go up, which means they're changing the way pinnacle drops work. Now, I've reread it a few times. I don't 100% understand it. Basically, they're decreasing the amount of pinnacle drops that we get next season. So that way it actually slows your pinnacle progression if you've not reached pinnacle yet. But one thing they are changing is the way that the exotic engram decryption works. And I'm really a big fan of this. There are going to be 3 tiers of exotic engram decryption. The standard decryption is going to cost you no additional resources and will pull from the standard engram loot pool. The tier above that, which they call it the first tier, will net you a random roll for an exotic from a specific expansion. Red War will have legs, chests, helms, and arms, while Forsaken and all the others will just says armor. It doesn't specifically say, just says armor. Lightfall is going to come in a future season, they said. So everything up till Lightfall's exotics right now are going to be pullable from this tier of loot that you can focus encrypt, which is kind of a neat concept. The step above that, or hold on, before we get there, that tier, that first tier, will cost an additional 30,000 glimmer, an engram, and an ascendant shard. So the second tier is going to allow you to look for a specific piece of exotic gear, not just the exotic loot pools from each expansion. So each of those, so you'd be able to look for a specific piece of gear if you're looking for it in a specific set, expansion set. So that one is going to cost you 60,000 glimmer, an exotic engram, an exotic cipher, and 3 ascendant shards. It's a little expensive, but I do like that they are allowing you to look for specific pieces of gear that you don't have. The other requirement is that you have to own the associated expansions. So if you're looking for something for Forsaken, you have to have the Forsaken key, Shadow Keep, Lightfall, all that stuff. You have to have those specific expansions. They are not raising the power cap, as we mentioned earlier, but they are going to give us the chance to earn anywhere between 3 and 9 exotic engrams a week from ritual playlists, which is actually kind of cool. I like that. I think that is a really neat thing that allows you to farm out the exotics that you don't have and still gives you a reason to continue to play and earn gear and grind for stuff that you don't have. Next up on this list, there is a new currency coming called a Deepsight Harmonizer, which is going to be available through the Battle Pass only for this first season, they've said. 3 of them are going to be on the free track, while 3 of them are going to be on the paid track. Legendary core costs are being removed, but Glimmer and enhancement cores will remain in place. There is no tweaking of the Masterwork economy this season. Now, the way these Deepsight harmonizers work is they're going to allow you to kind of force pull a blueprint from a weapon that is in the crafting system. So this allows you to be able to continue to up your arsenal in the crafting section of Destiny. So that's a pretty cool addition, if I do say so myself. I think that that's one of the things that we'll see expand out a little bit further as they continue to tweak and run with what the crafting system actually is. And I'd like to, here's the thing with this. I like the fact that we are continuing to add to the crafting system. I think that is a great sign that the crafting system isn't going away, that they really wanted to add to it and continue to expand it out in a way that works and makes sense for the game. Now, one thing I'd like to say here is if they can, I'd like to see them add armor to the crafting table as well. They don't right now. You don't have that. All you have is weapons. But I think it'd be cool to be able to craft armor eventually. Give us a full-fledged crafting system, and I'm all about that. I think that's kind of the route we may be heading, and I kind of hope that that's where we end up eventually. Like right now, we're walking that line toward a full-fledged crafting system, and I'm all about it. Honestly, I'm all about it. So those are kind of the big ones. One of the things they added to was a quality of life section. One of the new quality of life updates that they're adding is triumphs to legacy content as a means to improve the rate of exotic drops once the triumph is completed. Excuse me. So some of the new stuff, as you completed triumphs, you would unlock exotic engrams or exotic pieces. While the older stuff didn't have those tables, they now have or will have increased drop rates basically as you complete certain triumphs within those certain activities. So one of the ones that they mentioned here was the Last Wish raid, which gives you the 1,000 voices. If you complete the Triumph of Petra's run, you get a +3 to your rate boost. The new meta gives you a +2 to your rate boost. There's challenges that +1 per challenge completed with 5 total. They're also adding some to the Deep Stone Crypt, the Vow of the Disciple, the Vault of Glass, the King's Fall raid, all of those things are getting rate drop increases for exotics. So that's actually a really cool thing that they are adding in the quality of life section. One thing they also mentioned is that they want to simplify the game economy. The game economy right now isn't terrible, but the big consensus right now is that there's a ton of stuff that we just don't need. So one of the things they're doing is that they're getting rid of the finest Matterweave and Rainmaker consumable drops. Now you'll automatically earn an enhancement core or 3,000 glimmer depending on which one of those you would get. Starting in season 21, you could also convert those into your inventory directly to new materials. Now I've seen memes floating around of people asking basically if we're going to be able to like mass break those down, and the answer to that we still don't know. But if people are like me, I have a ton of these Rainmaker ones, so if you're looking to use them. I may still use some of mine, but yes, starting in season 21, you'll be able to break those down for the direct compare, or you'll be able to break those in. Jesus Christ, you'll be able to break those down for the correct material that would be related to those. One of the things that they brought up too that seemed to catch a little bit of backlash is the standalone price of expansion is going up from 1,000 silver to 1,200 silver. This only reflects the price of the standalone expansion and does not affect anything if you bought the annual pass. Now, that whole thing, I think I'm going to do an individual video on, and there's a reason, because I like to rant, and the community has kind of stepped this one over a little bit, and I feel like there's some stuff that needs to be said. So we may look at doing a video on that particular piece of information alone. But be aware that if you're going to buy expansions or seasons going forward, they are going to go up by just a little bit. Basically, it goes from $10 to $12 is effectively what it equates to. The last piece of business to cover here is going to be the trials rework that they're doing. So in week 8 of season 20, they did a trials lab and they got some information from that, and they dropped some news on what's changing in Trials of Osiris for season 21. So the first thing they're doing is tweaking the introductory quest, which is going to get you more acclimated to Trials as opposed to just Crucible. Right now it is literally just Crucible stuff, but Trials and competitive PvP is a very different beast. So they're working on trying to make that a little bit better of a transition, if you will. They are also adding Dominion as a permanent core game mode. This offers 2 variations on Trials play, which is kind of cool. The last thing is that they're making changes to the gilding of the flawless title. As you'll see here on the screen, I kind of screenshot what that says. I'm not going to pretend like I understand all of the trial stuff. I'm very much a PvP player. Or PvE player. I do enjoy some PvP, but I've never been a big trials guy. So if you're watching this in the comments and you want to break this down into stupid language, by all means, please do. Not even for the viewers, because I'm pretty sure most of you guys watching this are going to be like, hey, I understand what that means. I don't. I'll be the first to admit it. So if you're watching this and you're like, well, this is an easy way to explain this, please explain to me what exactly is changing in the title section here, because I don't know. And that's on me. But it is what it is. At least I can own it. There are a ton of stuff coming, a ton of changes to season 21. And I think these are really good things. I think these are good changes, quality of life updates, and things of that nature. These are all good things. I expect there to be a lot more information about season 21 to be dropped in next week's post and the week after, because we are very, very quickly heading toward this this new, season 20 ending and season 21 beginning. We're like 2 or 3 weeks out, something like that. May 23rd is when they are launching season 21. One thing I would like to note is they didn't suggest any changes to the power system, which has been a long rumor that's been running around since they announced they were actually going to cap 1810 as the pinnacle cap all year long. I've seen a lot of rumors running around that we are going to get a overhaul to the power system. Maybe they are holding that off for the final shape. I'd like to hope maybe that would make sense if you think about it from a storyline perspective, but we'll see how season 21, 22, and 23 progress. I'm interested in the rework of the power system. I've been a big proponent of the power system in Destiny for years. I think that it works, but I also think that it has maybe become a little outdated, so it does need to be tweaked a little bit. That's neither here nor there. Honestly, I'm looking forward to season 21. I'm looking forward to another battle pass. I'm looking forward to more stuff to grind. I enjoy playing this game. I enjoy playing the game and interacting with you guys. So we are going to start trying to do more of these breakdowns for This Week at Bungie on a regular basis. But for now, that's all I got. I want to say thank you guys for watching. If you are enjoying the Destiny stuff, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. Join me on Twitch. Right now, I'm not even going to pretend like I have a full schedule until I get back into the swing of things. I won't have a legitimate schedule set up, but hit that follow button and ring that notification bell over on Twitch so that you get notifications when I go live. I've got Destiny and Warframe content coming down the pipe, so be sure to join me here for that. We're almost to 300. Yeah, that's gonna wrap this video. So until next time, guys, eyes up, Guardian, and keep your light alive to drive away the darkness. Madman out.